If you'll just get in a comfortable position in your chair, with the bottom of your back up against the chair, and begin breathing in through your nose. Breathing in not air, but grace. Because air is made up of subatomic particles, which really have no matter. It's just a fluid flow of intelligent energy or energetic intelligence. It's grace. It's the great presence. It's love. And as you breathe in grace, and you allow that marvelous, intelligent energy to flood through your body, know that you are breathing pure love, that there is only love, that this universe is love. You are breathing in who you are, the tiniest mote of dust on the farthest planet contains all of the entire universe. And you are that universe. You are one with the mote of dust, and you are one with all. And all is one. And as you breathe in, just allow yourself to relax and trust. And trust that all is good, that all is God, that all is love, and that you are good, and you are God, and you are love. Now don't reach for that. Don't reach for it. Just allow it to be. As you breathe in gently through your nose. And each time you exhale, fall deeper and deeper into that great sea of love. You are loved, so loved. This entire universe is cradling you now. Can you feel that? The great presence, the great being of creation loves you and surrounds you and fills you with grace. You are blessed. You are being at this moment, at this instant, you are being blessed. Every breath you take is life. You're breathing life, the living presence into you. And your whole being is smiling. And as you exhale, what's left behind, once that divine grace is expelled, what's left behind is a beautiful, beautiful child that you have always been. You are so loved, my precious one. You are so loved and blessed. And the individuality that you are, everything that's unique about you is a blessing. Makes you special. And you are being protected throughout your entire being by the universe that loves you. You are safe. And right now, at this instant, you are free. If there's anything left to hold on to, let it go. Let it go. And let yourself just fall into that great abyss of love and peace and protection. And you feel now that you are enveloped, surrounded by presence. A great intelligence, a being that's indescribable, that loves you and is holding you and protecting you. Can you please allow yourself to feel that presence? And when you come back to us, please come back as this being, not the one that's jumping through hoops, but this quiet, peaceful, totally loved and protected child. Come back when you feel you can. We'll wait for you. So today we're going to talk about consciousness on a brand new level, one that we've not addressed before. And it's a bit of a difficult chore for me because I'm going to talk to you about something that can't be explained. I'm going to talk to you about something that can't be understood. In the Bible, there's a passage that says, peace that passeth all understanding. And most religious people just breeze over that statement. What does it mean, peace beyond understanding? What is peace? But a peace can't have fear in it. A peace can't have unrest in it. Peace can't have doubt in it. Peace has to be surrender, doesn't it? It has to be surrender to what is. And knowing that what is the way it's supposed to be. No matter how tragic it may seem or how befuddled we might become, still there is an underlying sense of rightness and goodness in everything. And when you go to work, if you're in a job and you find yourself being confused or harried, or if you start getting busy and you say, I don't have enough time, I've got to go faster, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, oh my God, what will I do? I'm going to have things that are left undone, oh my goodness. What you're actually doing is you're saying, I am being judged by the universe and by myself by what I do. I'm being judged by myself and by my universe by what I do. And I can tell you, that's a road that we don't want to go on, because we have to accelerate faster and faster and faster in order to keep up, because the game keeps getting bigger and it keeps getting faster. I'm inviting you to come back to the beginning, which is not do, but be. To be. And you might say, well, I have things I want to accomplish. I mean, I don't want to just be. I just don't want to sit on a rock somewhere and meditate. I want to accomplish something. And I also want to have things that I don't have. And the only way I'm going to get to have those things that I don't have is to do those things beyond me so that I can have those things that I don't have. And I want to say to you that being first and foremost allows the doing to be in a natural flow of the grace of the universe. An apple tree doesn't say, oh my God, it's spring, I got to get some blossoms on. It just bees an apple tree. Is an apple tree less than you? Is an apple tree less blessed than you? You have apples to give. You have things to bring to the universe. You have gifts to give, but you can't try to give them and get them, because when you try, you give something else, something that's not yours, something that's contrived. To give your gifts to the universe, first you must trust. In the old days, it was called faith. Faith the size of a mustard seed, and you can say to a mountain, move, and it'll move. If you can have trust in who you are as an incredibly blessed being, in the flow of grace, in the flow of that divine power, if you can trust that, then slow everything down. I don't know if you like train trips. I love to go on a train. I just love it. And if I could, I would go on a train that only goes 25 or 35 miles an hour. I just want to see everything as it goes by. When I see the coyote on the meadow, or the antelope or the deer, when I see a moose or a bear, when the train goes through a backyard and I see a woman hanging clothes on the clothesline and little kids playing outside, and I feel them and I feel their presence inside of me. I'm just not buzzing by. I'm drinking them in. I'm becoming them. I'm one with them. I can feel what it's like to live in that house with the gray weathered walls and the apple tree in that yard and the kids playing and the little girl's bright red shirt. I can see that all. I can feel it. I'm drinking it into me. And that's life. That's the life that we're going through. We're riding a train. Now, would you believe it? They have trains that will go over 350 miles an hour. Are you kidding me? They'll go over 350 miles an hour. And people can't wait to get on those trains. Why? Why? They're going to take a train trip? You know, what they're looking for is get me to the destination as fast as I can. As fast as you can, get me to the destination. Now, if we see that as life, that's saying, let me die as fast as I can. Let me die as soon as I can die. How about the trip? How about the trip? How about the journey? You know, we have to keep moving. Eckhart Tolle said, the joy of being, which is the only true happiness, cannot come to you through any form, possession, achievement, person, or event, through anything that happens. That joy cannot come to you ever. It emanates from the formless dimension within you, from consciousness itself, and thus is one with who you are. Listen to that again. It emanates from the formless dimension within you. That's the peace that passeth all understanding. It's formless. It can't be understood. It can't be intellectualized. It's who you are. It's who you are. You identify yourself as a particular person, a particular body with a particular history, but you also exist in all alternate timelines as intelligent energy, formed into experience and expression. The same way the cells of your body have each its own energy and intelligence and unique purpose, so are you a cell in a greater body, an unlimited body that extends into all dimensions and all universes. Even in this universe, you're present in other bodies and other countries. You should meet yourself someday and see yourself. And if you're caged in one dimension of thinking, you may not recognize yourself. Sometimes we meet someone who recognizes us rather than us recognizing them, yet we're patient and open. And sometimes something magical happens in that relationships, and we found true love, not romantic love, true love, a flowing of oneness between us. And if we pay attention without awakening and do not categorize it in some way that makes sense to our brain, we find members of our own community, of our own family. Your community is that group of people with whom you share companionship in other dimensions right now, other dimensions. And if we pay attention, we see that they keep circling back to us, back to us, back to us. Even those who sometimes seem unlikely will be the ones who come back to us. So on that train, I have an opportunity to see all of these things and to become one with them. But people get on that 350-mile-an-hour train and they go zooming through life. But I'm talking today about finding other dimensions. And in my life over the past year, some dimensions have opened up that I am so deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for. And I wish I could just take you there, but it passes all understanding. I don't have words. There's no language for that. My mom, who was dead for over a year, came back to me, and I know that sounds a little bit like everybody says I had a revisitation of somebody that was dead, but she actually did come back to me, and we talked, and I asked her, I said, "What's it like, Mom, over where you are? What's it like over there?" And she said, in her own words, and these are not exactly what she said, it's just my memory of what she said. She said, "I can't tell you that. I can't explain that to you. We don't have a language here in this dimension for that." So that's the truth of that other dimension. And when I look at a tree and I see it shimmering with the breeze against the blue sky, something crazy happens inside of me. And then I see the distance between that and the next tree. And that distance is called space. And that distance and space are called time. And time and space and distance are all one. And they don't exist. They all are one, and they're a big zero. They don't exist. They are timeless, spaceless constants. And when I fall into that, through that divine space, when I fall into that, I feel a joy inside of me that's unlike anything I've ever felt before. And I can't understand it, and I can't categorize it. And I start laughing sometimes. And I'm laughing out loud, and I think if anyone sees me, they'll think I'm nuts. I'm looking at a flower and I'm laughing. I'm just laughing. And I'm not seeing the flower. I'm seeing the soul. I'm feeling the flower inside of me. I'm feeling it smiling inside. I feel its presence. And I can't categorize that. I can't think about that. I can't teach you how to do that, because you can look at a flower and say, okay, now I'm trying to, no. Through meditation, constant, continual meditation, we get there. And it takes meditation. And I was talking to someone yesterday who said, I try to meditate, but it's really difficult for me because I just can't stop my thinking. And I remember saying to her, when you were a little baby, you fell on your little diapered butt again and again. And I used to know what the averages were, and I've forgotten. I should have looked it up. But hundreds of times a day, a little baby falls. A little kid trying to learn to walk, boom, down on that diapered butt. Gets on the knees, back up again, boom, down again. Gets up, down, boom, down. Meditation is learning to walk in a new dimension. We aren't wearing diapers now, but we're moving into a new dimension. And you can't crawl. We've been crawling. You can't crawl. You have to walk. And the only way to do that is to practice it, to practice meditating, to just go into that meditation. Go back to YouTube and pick up this talk that I'm giving right now and go back to the beginning of this. And there's the meditation. You can do that as many times as you want all week long. And very soon I'm going to be doing a weekly meditation, and I'll be posting that. But somewhere, find a way to meditate. And don't say, well, I can't because I have all these thoughts. Of course you have all these thoughts. So did I. And it's written that even though yogis, those people who are the best deep meditators, cannot hold a full minute of meditation without some errant thought swimming across their minds. It's okay. It's all right. It is the way it is, and it is the way. Just let it be. Just let it be. Don't fight that. Seeing your multidimensionality is simply allowing other dimensions into you. And though I mention other dimensions as if there's some kind of dividers between them and us, they're only our perceptions. When we become acceptance of what is in this dimension, we open the doors of other dimensions, and then the dividers disappear. Then you know who you are. You know who you are as an eternal self in unlimited realities. All of you existing right now. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns to its original dimensions. Can't you see how exciting that is? That once you get to the place where you're meditating deeply and you're feeling that, oh my God, that incredible ecstasy, that joy, it begins to bleed out into the other areas of your life. So that after a while, every area of your life is touched by and enriched by and flavored by the peace that passeth all understanding and love and joy. It's beyond anything that we can talk about. And when we expand our consciousnesses to include other dimensions, we don't go there. We don't leave here. What happens is that perception reality expands to include our realities right here and now, realities that we didn't even know existed before. Then comes a grounding of that peace, of recognizing that we are omnipresent, eternal, and completely one with what is. Alexandro Jodorowsky said, birds in a cage think flying is an illness. When we stay in 3 dimensions and we see someone who's expanded beyond that, we oftentimes think they're nuts. We think there's something wrong with their heads because they've stepped beyond the limits that we have for ourselves. We've stepped beyond that. As we meditate regularly, we begin to see the realities of our lives shifting. We're stunned by the beauty in places we used to ignore. We feel sudden surges of joy that heal our hearts, a joy that brings spontaneous laughter. Anne Kagan said, a shift in perspective makes the particles in your universe dance to new possibilities. So let's go there, shall we? Shall we just go there? You see now that love is the only power in the universe, more powerful even than nuclear power. Love is always stronger. How can I say that? Because love heals the world. Nuclear power cannot. Love mends relationships. Nuclear power cannot do that. Love changes minds. Love changes lives as no other power can. Love is a presence, a being of energy that is intelligent. When we see love as only emotion, we lose the greatest support and the greatest friend ever. Know that love is a being, a living being. And then when we are being love, we're guided by an intelligence beyond description, one that changes our viewpoints of reality. And then I see that nothing has power over me or my reality unless I've allowed it. So our homework this week, meditate. If you say, well, I just can't meditate, then go online, to go to Google and click meditate and write in meditation music, and you'll get several options that come up. Select one that you like and just listen to the music. Just go into the music, pay attention only to the sound of the music. And if your eyes are open, watch only that. And every time another thought comes across, just say to yourself, no thought. Just say it to yourself, no thought, and let that thought just go. Or another trick that you can do is see that thoughts print themselves on the blackboard of your mind. And here's the interesting thing. Every thought has to be complete. It has to be a complete sentence. So if a thought starts and you just swipe it off the blackboard of your mind, it disappears. And if you keep doing that, after a while, your mind gives up and stops trying to think. But just practice it. Just practice it until you finally start feeling that ecstasy, that joy. And then you can go to the next step. And then when you open your eyes, begin to see that this reality is not the reality you've been looking at for your life, that this reality has no limits. When you look at a tree, when you look at a flower, when you look at the sky, when you look at a red-tailed hawk hanging on the wind, there is no limit to what you can see there. It's not just a hawk hanging on the wind. It's the universe. And you can go through that image into the universe, but you have to do the work to get there and do it with joy. Don't do it with have to. Do it with I can, with joy and with love. I love you. And I thank you for joining me today. It's always an honor spending time with you. And please tell your friends, if you will, about the weekly reset. Let's grow this. Let's get hundreds of people doing the weekly reset. You can do that to help us reach out with that. And if you enjoyed today's message, please make a donation to help us keep these weekly resets coming. You'll find the donate button on my website, bobtrask.com, in the upper right-hand corner. Thank you. Thank you for your support.